So ever since Despia came out, we started noticing a trend in deck building where people stopped playing hand traps essentially and replaced them with board breaking cards such as Forbidden Droplet and Super Poly. There are a lot of reasons why you would want to do something like that, but it essentially comes down to something I've been preaching forever. So hand traps are not cards that guarantee you're going second to go any smoother because they have literally no guarantee of having an impact against your opponent, and they also do not offer you any more resourcefulness for the most part. For example, if you main deck Nibiru and you get paired up against Eldritch, Flunderies, or Despia, you might not be super happy. On top of that, hand traps kind of create a weird paradox, which I will be explaining right now, actually. Essentially, the less hand traps you play, obviously, the lower your chances are of seeing one, and the luckier you will have to be in order to rely on drawing one to beat your opponent or prevent your opponent from making a big board. But on the flip side, the more you play, the higher your chances are of seeing one, but also seeing multiples, seeing duplicates of cards that are once per turn, and of course, the higher your chances are of drawing cards that have absolutely no impact against your opponent, and also you might draw way too many hand traps to the point where you have no real engine going for you and you just break and can't play the game. So in other words, drawing 0 hand traps means that you have to rely on your real deck, so your engine and your extenders in order to play, or even your board breaking cards. Whereas if you play way too many hand traps and you draw them, you're going to also have to rely on luck because now you need your 1 or 2 card combo with maybe extenders, and that might be a little too much to ask. And one really important thing to also keep into consideration is that it's not because you drew hand traps that your opponent will necessarily stop in their tracks, even if they're playing combo decks. And that is really not something that just comes out of my own mouth, because Patrick Hoban, one of the best players in Yu-Gi-Oh's history, literally said that same thing in his deck profile, which will be, of course, in the description box below, uploaded in Tommy's channel. MVP, by the way, go check him out. And again, another issue with hand traps is that they are the kind of cards that you can't really draw for turn. You need them in your opening 5, or else they have so much less value. Obviously, there are exceptions. For example, if you top deck Ghost Bell against Despia, you can actually use the Ghost Bell that you top deck in order to negate Branded in red, and that actually is very good. But yeah, I mean, who else has experienced the pain of not drawing Nibiru in their opening 5, and then their opponent full combos, and for turn, they actually were drawing the Nibiru, and they were like, shit, now I lose. Board breaking cards, on the other hand, can be drawn at any point in the game and can also be excavated with Pot of Prosperity, which is really important because it can actually get you up to 6 cards, and it is a card that is being played in almost most of the meta decks right now. Okay, maybe not most, but a lot of them, okay? And something that I would also like to point out with cards like Super Poly and Forbidden Droplet is the fact that they can also be used to play around hand traps. So this is what I meant with hand traps do not really have as much resourcefulness as board breaking cards, because board breaking cards like Forbidden Droplet, for example, can be used in order to being chained to a card like Effect Veiler on your Lubert, so that you can send your Lubert to the grave, negate a monster, and of course you dodge the Effect Veiler so the card still resolves. Same thing with Super Poly, your opponent Veilers the Aluber, and then you chain Super Poly, fuse your Aluber away with any light or dark monster, you make your Masquerade, your Aluber still resolves, and you get your Branded Fusion that way. And this is really what differentiates the beginner players from the expert players. People who can really tell the difference between a format where the correct play to do is play hand traps or not play hand traps, because hand traps will always have a lot of value, but it really depends on the format. And this is really what we have to do as Yu-Gi-Oh players, really adapt to change. This is reality, we can't really do anything about it. That's basically all I had to say for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.